Hi everyone, I am Tara and I would like to welcome you all back to my channel, Spirit Mother Teachings of Going Within. Today I'm going to talk about passing judgment, and as I said before, I use a lot of my own experiences to talk about certain topics because there's a lot of judgment going on right now. Because people are changing, people are evolving, they're becoming more aware, more enlightened, and different things are happening to them. And because others don't understand it or they're not experiencing it quite yet themselves, they want to say things. And people say, well, you shouldn't let it bother you. Okay, no. Sometimes it can actually be a self-reflection of yourself. Maybe you're experiencing self, but because you don't know how to maybe wrap your head around it, you want to make somebody else feel like it's not right, or say that it's kind of like your vibration is up too high. You're feeling too good about yourself. I've been experiencing a lot of this judgment because I am constantly speaking in the light languages. Okay, so I could be walking anywhere, whether it be in a store or like a mall, just out walking, and I start talking, I sign, and what have you. And I have the part that bothers me the most is that strangers don't have a problem with it. They don't look at me sideways or anything like that. A lot of them will say, like, whoa, like, what are you speaking? And they feel it, and it puts a smile on their face. What I'm facing right now with regards to the judgment on how I am and what have you, it's coming from family. And some may not like what I have to say with regards to this, especially my own family. And that's okay, because as they say, they know not what they do or say because they don't understand it, or they're not experiencing it, or maybe they are experiencing it and it's challenging for them. I had a sibling tell me about another one of our siblings going to the doctor thinking that they were ADHD, and the doctor told them, no, you're not ADHD. We're all just waking up to what's real in the world and what it's experiencing. So no, you're not ADHD. So if your head is getting like it's messed up and it's like, whoa, man, it's overwhelming, it's because your higher being is waking up and seeing things for what it really is. Okay. Some people may not speak like me. Okay. I've had someone tell me that I am ahead of my time. And I have somebody, like yesterday, they called me and they told me, like, hey, I'm beginning to understand a lot of what you're talking about. But then when I started like talking and then it came out, it's like, well, I don't understand what you're saying. It's like I said, it's not about understanding what I'm saying. It's about feeling the energy behind it. And they're like, well, I don't feel it. And they're saying about being baptized and what have you. Well, baptism is about, like, they pour the water on you as a purification. Well, every morning I'm baptized because I have a shower. And to me, that's my baptism, because I do a lot of going within. Okay. Because to say, like, I'm going to get baptized to be reborn, well, the rebirth is actually the part of going in oneself and doing the inner work to let go of the judgment of how somebody is or how they're evolving. I speak this way because it is who I am as my higher being, my original self, of what I was suppressed because other people didn't like it or didn't understand it. And then I said, as I said to other people, like, if you don't like it, it's usually because it's the shadows of yourself that are afraid of seeing something and experiencing something different. So we pass judgment on somebody else because they're different. And I said that before. We're all different. We're all unique. I'm not going to walk like a robot. And I'm not going to stop talking like this just because somebody doesn't want to be accepting of me. Diz que doutorês que não matar. Isso é. It's here. The lessons are here. There are people out there that enjoy the way I am because they feel it. When you tell somebody they're crazy, I'll say it, you're ignorant. And when I say ignorant, it means that you are ignorant to other things. You're not allowing your consciousness to expand. You're saying you're staying narrow-minded. And when we're experiencing things of our own, it's really hard to comprehend. And then we're afraid to go say something to somebody. And it's for this reason. What I'm going through, what I'm experiencing. And when I cry, it's because I feel for others and the way that they're looking at things. Because it's about being open-minded and growing. This person said that they want to have the experiences, but they don't want the negative aspect to it. Some of us don't get that negative aspect, but it's all about how you perceive it. I went through a lot, and I still go through it sometimes, but I perceive it as a growing aspect. I'm not judging you because of something you do. I may say, you're being an asshole. And if that's passing judgment, well, maybe that's not a judgment. That's being a truth of what I have observed. Because you're not freeing your mind to be open. You're going by what someone says, and doing that, you're keeping yourself closed. And it's about the expansion of your consciousness, of realizing that there are things out there beyond what you have been told. And that's where, like yesterday and the other day, and that I said about sins. It's systems integrated into society, and that's part of the system. It's like the believing. You got to believe this way. That's the sin. And I believe that that's what Jesus was talking about, to break down the sins, the systems that have been integrated into our societies, the limited beliefs. I believe in miracles. I believe in all the fairy tales, because the fairy tales are about us. And somebody just said, well, you're delusional. Well, that's your opinion. That's where you're passing judgment, because maybe you believe in something. And I'm not saying that what you believe in is wrong or not real. How you believe is how you believe. But what I'm saying is, we're in a time now where it's time to broaden your horizons instead of tunnel visioning on something that a system programmed in you. We've got information coming out about the extraterrestrials, star beings, old souls, everything, and the healing prospects of crystals and energy and what have you. But we have other systems that are integrated into our society that want to tell us no, because that's not really profitable for us. People know the abilities that we have for healing with energy and crystals and mind, like mind. I've said before about thought he farted, but he really pooped himself. And when I say that he really pooped himself, it's everyone's thoughts just went and exploded. And that's why it's like utter, it seems like utter chaos. And we feel like we have to see it in order to believe it. I believe it without seeing it, because I know that just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean that somebody else hasn't. And if you don't understand me, that's fine. But there are people that do. And they don't just understand it through me speaking. They understand it through the energy of it. And if you don't feel that energy, then you are not allowing yourself to open up. You say you believe in God, you go to church or what have you, you're of God. But when you're passing judgment and ridiculing someone and telling them or calling them names or what have you. Yes, I did tell this person. I didn't call him an asshole. I said, you're being an asshole. You're acting. And acting in a way of, you're passing judgment on me when you have no clue what I'm experiencing, what I've gone through in order to grow. I love singing. I love dancing. I love laughing. I love playing. Last weekend, I had my grandkids here. Someone just said, step grandkids. You know what? I don't care if they're not blood related. The person is with my child, so they are my grandchildren. And you don't have to be blood related. You don't have to have the same blood to be related. Because we're all related. So I was out in my yard and I have a hill. So be like a kid. Have fun. I went and I laid on my side and I rolled down the hill. So then the kids started rolling with me and they had a blast. So it's being able to be a kid again, because and having your imagination and knowing that your imagination is not, it's bringing it forth, the childlike aspect. Who says we have to fully like grow up, get a job? Well, I'll grow up, but I still am going to use my imagination and know that stuff like this actually does exist. And it may not be something you can see, but it's something that others can see. So passing judgment on somebody else, you might want to look inside yourself. Because maybe it's, like I said, it's the aspect of yourself that you're seeing in this other person, and you don't want to see it because it makes you feel one way or another. And I'm not judging you, because I still go through it myself. It's a learning process. It's the letting go of the ignorance of being told that you have to walk this way, you have to talk this way, you have to speak this way. Like I said before, I had a person of religion tell me that God don't use that language anymore because God's got the Bible. The Bible is a book. It's something written. It's not, it's people's experiences of how they experienced it themselves. And everybody experiences things differently. And that's the part of letting go of judgment. Just because you're not experiencing something doesn't mean that the other person is not. Are you on their vibration? Are you actually taking the time to listen to what they have to say and maybe trying something that they've done in order to be experiencing stuff? Don't be afraid of the unknown. Because being afraid of the unknown is going to keep you in a box. And it's not going to allow you to expand your whole self. Because your whole self is the oneness. It's everything and everyone. Sometimes we don't want to look at the negative aspects of ourself, but we want to point out somebody else's. When you're telling someone that, no, like, don't speak like that because I don't like it. Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm not going to suppress anymore because you don't like it. It's only because you're not allowing yourself to free yourself from different possibilities and experiences yourself. I'm not saying that, like, you're going to be speaking the way I do all the time. But I'm not going to stick something in my ear and pretend that I'm talking on a phone when I'm talking to other beings and entities and people around the world and in like the universe and what have you. And if you're not able to just sit and expand your mind, don't worry about it, because eventually you will. Because we all come to it in the end. And it's not about being for one side or the other. It's about seeing each side. All around you. I'm connected. And it's about being happy. And I am very happy and I am very joyful and I am exhilarated and full of energy when I speak the light languages, when I experience the telepathic aspect of it. People say you can't hear my thoughts. When I open myself up and I connect with you, yes, I can. And you can do the same thing, because that's when you can feel that somebody's lying. That's because you've connected. That's the oneness part of it. And if you're judging somebody because they're able to do that and you say no because a system tells you that that's not real, that's not true, then you're limiting yourself. You're allowing a system program to suppress you. Don't be afraid to speak out and say your experiences by being afraid of what somebody's going to think. Who cares? Don't be ignorant and expect somebody to embrace it right away. Because it's hard to deprogram from what we've had drilled in our head from the time we came into the world. Because before we came here, we had all of the knowing of what was real. And when we're children, we have all that. I remember back when I was younger, I would be like this, and it would be like a force pushing my fingers apart. And that was the energy, and I was tapped into it, but only I didn't know what it was. It's the expansion of your whole embodiment of the universe, of the energy that you have yourself. Someone can't change things for you. They can bring things forth, but in the end, it's up to you whether or not you want to ascertain that, well, maybe it's right. Okay. I had somebody tell me that they didn't eat eggs because it was like the fetus. Okay. Something that's not fertilized. It may have a light and it was popped out. Okay. I'm not saying go eat eggs or anything like that, because it's up to you what you eat. But it's like, you don't eat eggs, but you'll eat the chicken. It's like, okay, this being, this life, it's lived, it's experienced, and you take and you kill it. It's a matter of thinking about what you say. before saying it sometimes, because sometimes it may not make sense to others. It may make sense to you because of how you're feeling about it. But that's where the judgment, if you don't eat eggs, I'm not judging you. If you eat a chicken, well, that's entirely up to yourself. I know the other night I thought that I was, and it wasn't dawning on me, even looking at it, it wasn't dawning on me because it was just like kind of passed me by. And I thought I was putting a salmon burger. I do eat salmon. I eat fish and eggs. So I had the kids, they eat burgers, and I was going to make them a burger. And I thought, no, I'm not going to make a burger. I'm going to make salad. Okay. So I put the couple burgers in with around my salmon burgers. And the other night when I went to get a salmon burger, I took this burger out and I put it in my air fryer and it was cooking, and wasn't totally dawning on me and what have you, and cooked, and I took it out, and to me it was kind of like looking at it, what? And the smell wasn't even totally dawning on me at the same time because my mind was kind of somewhere else. And break it open, I looked, and it's like, and I went to take a bite, and it was like, oh my God, sorry, but that's what it was like. I started gagging because I haven't eaten in a while, and it really pointed out to me what it really was like, what it really tasted like. And I was so used to it before eating it that I didn't notice that. So when I noticed it, it was like, I was walking around like gagging. I was like, get it out of my mouth, get it out of my mouth. So I grabbed an apple and started eating an apple, and it's like, and I'm getting like, but if you're used to it, you don't get that experience. And it was just like, I grossed myself out. It was like, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, right? But that's my experience. That's what I'm feeling. And I can't tell you what to eat. I can't tell you how to think or anything like that, or what to believe. But all we're asking is that you free your mind from limited beliefs and expand it, and know that it's not about just learning one thing. Because like I said before, we all have something to offer. And when we come together and leave judgment behind because we don't understand something at that moment, then you start allowing yourself to open up more, and you start to grow, and you start to let go of judgment, traumas, anger, hurt, pain, and you start experiencing compassion, empathy, understanding, love. Gratitude. I have a sign up on my wall, and it's a whole wall dedicated to my family, because it's a count your blessings, because family is a blessing. And family is the whole, and we're supposed to be helping one another, not turning on one another and telling each other you're crazy or you're mental. and shunning them away because they're a little different than you. We're all different. And that's okay. Because none of us, we were not meant to be made the same. We are one in the oneness. We look different, we act different, but we learn from each other's experiences as a whole. So that's why I say, like, I feel you. I feel your pain. I feel your anxiety because I'm a severe empath. And I'm good with that. Because I take that, I take that feeling and it helps me to understand. And it helps me to learn to stop passing judgment on others because I have no clue what that person has experienced or is experiencing right now. Unless they tell me. But I feel it. As you grow, as you let go of your own, you start feeling for others. I don't care if you don't understand me. Feel it. Take the time and actually let yourself and your limited beliefs go. Because if you just want to come in and throw shade on me and be ignorant to me, then I'm saying just, go away until you're ready to be mature. We're supposed to be helping each other, like, as a family, not excluding someone because we don't agree with their beliefs or we're not understanding. I had like telling me you're not a psychic. You have psychosis. You have schizophrenia. Well, I'm here to tell you, I've been to the doctors and the doctors tell me I don't have that. Because more and more are starting to understand. And that's why more and more they're going to natural. Some people get irate because, oh, my doctor wouldn't give me a prescription for this. Well, maybe they're not giving you a prescription for a reason because we've become too dependent on something that actually isn't helping. It's suppressing. Some of you may believe in what medication does. But truly ask yourself, why does it keep coming back? Why, when the cures are out there, but you got the bigger parts of it saying, no, because we don't want it to be out there and be true. We're going to tell you we debunked it. It's not real. It's not true. But yet there's people out there that are saying, yeah. Do you wonder, like, there's the patent, okay? From what I understand, they are trying, or they have put a patent on marijuana. I always thought a patent came from something you invented and created yourself. Not something that was a universal creation because people use it for medicinal reasons. Like anything. we become we abuse it. And we don't know how, or sometimes we don't know how to use it as a medicinal substance. And sometimes we use it in a way that, well, it helps me to escape. That's the biggest challenge, is to continue. Because you're taking it and you're using it, instead of using it to help you move forward, we use it to suppress what we're feeling. I use CBD. And I use CBD because it helps me to calm down to the point where I can actually see things for what it is. It's not to help me to escape. It's to help me come back to a center of self where I can actually observe all aspects of it and figure out a way how to deal with it. I had a car accident in 2006, and I was becoming addicted to Tylenol 3. Because I was getting somewhat of a high from it, and it was helping me escape. It wasn't getting rid of. It was just helping me escape it all. And then when I finally took away from it, it was gone, I started using ibuprofen. And I was taking a lot of ibuprofen. And I even told my doctor. But they done nothing. They just said, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. It's like, do you think? For me to, like, okay, you believe that these medications are helping you, but ask yourself, how are you feeling really? Is it a Band-Aid? Like, limited beliefs are a Band-Aid because we're too afraid of looking outside that limited belief because there may be something different, or because we're being told that no. And then the natural healers with crystals and stuff like that, they feel that they have to do a disclaimer. It's not medical, or it's not a substitute. Do these prescription companies, businesses, always put a disclaimer? No, they don't. You should ask yourself that. No, this works. And your doctor will actually prescribe a new medication, but did you really know that doctors usually get an incentive for pushing a pill on you? And they advertise things. And they use meditative music. Just use the meditative music. You got anxiety? Instead of taking a pill for anxiety, step outside, hear nature, or put a frequency on your TV that helps to eliminate and calm you down. Because when you're feeling anxiety, like I said before, maybe it's not your anxiety, because we often wonder, well, where's it coming from? But it's some of it is it's coming from not knowing. Not knowing what the future is going to hold, and that's okay. And we don't need to know what the future holds, because every time we wonder what the future holds, we're holding ourselves back to what could be for you now. This person yesterday, say for about forgiveness and stuff like that, but it's when you keep bringing it up, and we say, well, and it's true, like nobody wants to talk about things, and a lot of the time conversation can help bring it out. It's a matter of, I don't want to look at it, because if I don't look at it, then it's not real. So then to the person who has experienced it or is experiencing it, it leaves them feeling like people don't care about. But sometimes we can't do it on the external. We have to do it on the internal. And I do a lot of that, where I take myself and put myself in the situation mentally. And mentally have the conversation. It's like when things change, you wonder why. Well, it's because you've gone and you've done that inner work, because it is self. We're all connected in that way. And I'm trying to understand myself sometimes, why we hold on to the stuff. Because everything does have an energy to it. And we feel the energy. It's like an attachment. Because we all carry our own energy. And when I am angry and I reflect it out there, others feel it. It's like the earth is said to be the mother. Okay? And the mother is in pain right now, because she's been raped. She's been torn apart, dug into. It's caring for everything. And knowing that everything, you may think that stuff that is materialistic or something like that doesn't have a feeling, but do you know that shapeshifters, it's real? You might not want to look at it and realize that, oh, well, that's just fantasy or fiction. But it's not. Wouldn't we all poop if, like, I watch these shows because they expand my mind. And in Charm, they had an episode where an entity became a lamp, and then they wondered, like, okay, well, where did that come from? It wasn't there, but where, like, you're looking strangely, like, well, where did that come from? We're just, things are going differently. And if you want to judge me for the stuff that I'm saying right now, well, that's entirely up to yourself. But I can almost guarantee that you're experiencing stuff, only you're dismissing it. Because it's too hard to comprehend sometimes. So this is why I'm saying about passing judgment on others, and maybe it's, you may not know that you're doing it, or that you're feeling that way about yourself, but it's more the aspect, you might want to stop judging others because you don't want others judging you. Clear that limited belief system that's been put into us by lifetimes of mental control. Stuff that's been drilled in your head by programs, TV. Oh no, it's not that way. It's this way. Well, no, maybe it could be that way. That's the part of, like, some of you say about QAnon, it's called asking questions. Okay, coming out of one shell and saying, hey, it's not all just this. But if people think I'm crazy because I can speak in different light languages and what have you, because I've allowed myself to be open to different beliefs, everything comes good, like, what have you. And just because something seems negative at the time, everything happens for a reason. Here where I'm at, a month or two ago, we had fire, and I was driving through where that fire was, and we got a lot, like, it's a lot of, like, down trees and what have you, which is causing other trees to come down because they're leaning, and then there was a fire. Well, that's that's the mother trying to clear it. It's a clearing. It's an energy clearing to make room for the new. Because I went through there, and it was like, it was almost eerie seeing the trees. But when you actually looked at the ground and how quickly new growth was coming, it was like, yeah. I feel tremendously for people that lose their houses and their belongings and everything like that. But your life is more important. Skip away. So I'm going to leave you with that. Okay. And I'm wishing you all a great Monday. I know for some Mondays suck because it's like the weekend's over and it's like, get back to work. Well, one day we're going to be able to relax. And you're not going to be doing a repetitive job, something you don't enjoy. You're going to be doing the things you do enjoy. I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, and most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting, willing, and ready to receive it. I want you all to be big, bold, brave. Most importantly, be yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Never give up and keep going. And know that you are stronger than what you were led to believe. I love you all. Have a great day.